All right, Chapter 8, Haynes Welding Manual, Chapter 8, Safety and Shop Equipment. When it comes to equipment working with metal, there's a lot more required than means of cutting the metal and fusing it, joining automotive enthusiasts, tools, addicts to begin welding. Just as I did mention that want list. Other than your welding cutting equipment in itself, the two main requirements for the good environment, the proper safety of the particular goggles and helmet, and clean, safe welding design, welding work area and table. As you see there, a wide variety of helmets available to choose one that are comfortable with that meets your budget. You have gotten a basic helmet with your welding machine that you can until you have saved up the one or more advanced models. Other personal safety equipment would include steel-toed industrial safety boots available at most shoe stores, good leather gloves, fire-resistant long-sleeve shirts, and if you are arc welding, leather welding jacket or apron. Clean, safe welding table setup is of paramount importance while you're learning that there will be a lot of more sparks and slag generated than when you are advanced. When you are advanced, and your welding table should be heavy and steel in position, well away from stored. 8-1. Find most of your welding safety gear, the clothing at your local welding supply store, such as helmets, leather goggles, and safety shields or goggles. 8-2. The Huntington welding helmet offers a full face chin protection and feature for the flying up welding lens. Here where you are setting up the weld, helmet can be held be down on the weld, and you can look through the clear lens, then flip down the dark lens just before welding. Some welders find these better than fixed lenses because they have to shake your heads to flip the whole helmet down. 8-3. The LTC helmet ECAB, called the Lifermat, features a lift-up safety lens underneath the shatterproof clear lens that can be used when grinding a weld. 8-4. The LTC helmet Welderama offers a clear sight plate and available welding lens, so that the welder can keep the helmet down, then just shift his eyes to the dark lens when he is ready to use. Flammables and clear about underneath any spark the molten slag safety contained with them, having scooting across the shop, lodging the top of the shoes, the metal cutting. You need to get a good grade set up with the pictures in Chapter 3. But you also need some fire bricks, which are helpful to practice welds on because the work won't stick to them. Do not just cover the old wooden workbench with a piece of sheet metal and call it a welding table. Invest in a piece of plate from the scrapyard. Whether when you are put on a lot of heat into your welding projects, tin covered wooden surface enough to heat enough the metal to start the wood smoldering, perhaps even starting the fire after you have left the shop. Also, you must have a proper fire extinguisher on hand, preferably an ABC type or halon that can pull out all kinds of fires. Much of the work sizing and joining materials home shop of the projects involve the tools already have them, such as drill presses, grinders, sanders, clamps, measurements, equipment, square levels. Common hacksaws can be used with several lengths. Material can be tedious and a heavier work wall stock. Sheet metal can be cut with aircraft, tin snips, manual electrical nibbers, or plasma cutter. Many of the tools shown have the special purpose tool that you may not have already, which perform special functions related improving the welding work of the holding materials to be welded. Although them using itself will in time comes, it always could just be put into one of each for the home garage. But you may have to collect them over the years and as the project gets involved. We'll also show that here are some of the tools, equipment that were made by fabricators. Alright, 8.5. The Scranium helmet was designed by the Mega Antig welding application, a large shade of 5 filter discs surrounding the welding lens, which you can see most of the details through the area, but your skin is proper to protect the radiation through the dark portion of the welding mask. Alright, the Darth Vader-ish design is the ESAB Autorama 2000, which is one of the modern breed of welding helmets with an automatically darkened lens. The lens is powered by solar cells. Turns dark, and as soon as the welding arc begins, these are considered to be by many welders to be much easier to use than flipping helmet and down to set up to each weld. Alright, the Daytona make other varieties of modern safety helmets or special clip-on lenses for foreground attached with mid-gun. It always sets up with a weld, but then look over the lens making the spot welds without a bother of a full helmet. Alright, 8-8. A good pair of leather welding gloves will also last you for many years, but if you are using oxysilicone equipment to keep your extra pair for use, then use this equipment, and the spur oxygen dirty glove could cause combustion, so do not use good gloves. So don't use good gloves for handling hot or dirty parts. 8-9. The HTP Super Spark Guard welding blanket. It can take up to 2,300 degrees Fahrenheit and can be used with working on the car, protecting window glass, dash, and interior, or measure 37 inches by 50 inches. Alright, 8-10. A clean self-welding table areas promote good work in your home shop. You need a steel plate table as big as the table this. Although your home shop won't need a big table this big, yeah, but now the uncluttered, organized things that are professional shop. A rack under the table holds all C-clamps. A very useful tool when welding on the material such as the new car body metal is the copper spooner. The heating absorbing spoon can be used at backing up butt welds when filling holes in sheet metal. The welding will not stick to the copper. And hot rods for their own use, the typical product that can produce when they have produced welding skills. Some of them representing considerable involvement that are only part of someone that already has been there. Sort for the commercial products in this and other chapters can be found in the source list at the end of the manual. Alright, 8-12. If you get a race car project, you might invest in one of these tube notchings available at Westwood, Williams, Lock, Bolt Tools, Speedway Motors, other sources. It fits you like a drill press, always precise flush fishing mouth of the tubing if you Viva captive hole saw. 8-13. A welding shop that's dedicated grinder is sharpening tungsten mounted right on the top of right on the side of the TIG. This is the rubber bungee cord skill, vibration noise of the grinder and slowing down. Alright, 8-14. Each with other magnetic click clamps to the function of the whole part's alignment and various angles of attack welding. 8-15. A unique spot welding gun in sheet metal has a power to leave the clamps and electrode holder of your arc welder, and you use the trigger, the electrode to turn the torch touch the work. Put all the 5 seconds, and then put them away in the break put away to the break of the arc and get the Eastwood. Alright, 8-16. One of the handiest shop tools you'll ever use, the Milwaukee portable band. Which has a name implied with the portable bandsaw. It cuts fast and straight and very helpful in cutting tubes and angles and other chores associated with welding projects. 8-17. A radiate cut-off saw of the abrasive blade, very fast, secure with the cutting large amounts and tubing. The work is movable, visible angle cuts can be made. Though this one with the clever mounted on a 50-gallon drum to capture all the sparks and debris. 8-18. The other kinds of metal cutting power saw blades include the type of the biomedical tooth blade, which has been cut clean with aluminum tubing. 8-19. An auto body tool like can be also used in electronic drills to cut the factory spot welds and removable panels of replacement. 8-20. The fast for Eastwood offers the similar tool of the removing spot welds and features a hexacide drive end so that it cannot slip into your drill chuck. Alright, 8-21. The welder Big McGuire made up this electrode rack for his TIG machines using the rolling platform. About 15 plastic plumbing tubes with the caps, each marked for the size and type of electrode. A bungee cord holds them together on the rack. Tubes keep on the rods are clean and dry. 8-22. You'll never know when you find something that comes in handy in the shop. The huge and hefty round plate, which was found in a metal yard, bought in a per pound price, is dead flat and cannot warp, and it has a mounting hole in it and clamping work for it. 8-23. If you plan to do any ornamental ironwork, you make a lot of brackets and ironwork like this, and you're very handy. It can be a solid round square hex stock as well as the bending round tube and flat stock in repeatable shapes. A disc sander for at least 1/2 horsepower is very handy around the shop, squaring edge of the flame cut parts and taking sharp edge of the corners off the work. 8-25. Ideally, you would have both a disc sander and belt sander for a variety of metal finishing needs. The combination of units both beware of the weak powered sanders when you put the rough edge of a 3/8 inch plate up up there with sand that is easily saw easily. 826. The HTP marketing is a clever belt sander that helps that can keep deep corners in places when regular sanders and grinders can reach, and belt guides with 160 degrees in sander use the 3/8 inch. 826. Something that is always probably the body of the work replacing. You have panels getting parts that are aligned properly before making a butt weld. Eastwood intergrip clamps, some special space two parts with the 40 inches apart for the full penetration. After tacking the panels, you can also disassemble the clamps. 828. Nothing beats the original Coleco clamps, pliers, or testing assembly sheet metal parts originally developed by the aircraft. Use these operate reusable temporary rivets to blind holes. And you insert the fastener with the pliers in two parts that held together and become apart with the easier pliers again. HTP offers this set. Alright, 829. You can see how the pliers extend with the tip of the Coleco fastener set hole while the tool is released. The Coleco grip parts also available. The Coleco mini clamps riding on the exert temporary hold while tack welding small parts together. 830. For small jobs, Eastwood, other than this simple Coleco type panels, operate with your fingers. No tool is needed. You have the range up to a 1/4 inch thickness and a fit in 1/8 inch hole. 131. When you want spot welding sheet metal panels that did not they have them originally like new parts or repair parts, you may have made a manual flange punch like this. The real help. This is one from Daytona MIG. All right, 832. An air-powered panabler, fast cleaning cut of sheet metal with a 3/64 inch sheet with a in steel 5/64 inch. It must flow out with the pattern of the cut line very close, and you control the speed line with the throttle. This one is from HTP. All right, 833. The HTP stud settler great boon the body man who you have to pull out the creases, dents, and drilling holes using side hammers that distort the metal even further. And a 110-volt tool saves in considerable time and labor. 834. Small head copper-plated studs are inserted with magnetic head and stud setter. 835. Only dented on a dented area that has been grounded clean and metal with the tool has been pushed into contact with the metal. The trigger is pulled with a half a second. 836. A stud and spot weld is placed in special slide hammers used to pull out all the dents and creases. The studs hold about 500 pounds of pull. Alright, on this the first three standards pull out with a bulk damage, and the two more sticks, two more places in last and bit out. Note how the first three studs have been clipped out off cutting pliers. 838. After pulling the stud's head with the easily grounded without distorting the metal, there are no holes left to fill it with as within conventional methods. 839. Visit the most street rod shops or fabrication shop, race car facilities. You'll find a lot of shop equipment that you have. They have is homemade. That you are kind of the things you won't be able to do once you have welding and cutting equipment. 840. A simple set steel materials light rack like this is greater than keeping the tube, the bar stock, or the flat stock on your own out of your way. Easy constructed in front of the once electrical automatic bandsaw, greatly moving unintended. This one purchase is an expensive tool auction which has newspapers, industrial auctions, and shop floor closures. Alright, 841. Old truck rim length of the rod pipe and a piece of scrap metal combined with a welding to make a perfect small welding table for mount table or mount for a grinding or sander. 842. Leftover pieces of tubing other than stock should be saved in a barrel. You never know when you need a short piece. The fixture of making up a street rod, the 4-link rod made of the short pieces, angle iron, and length of the rectangular tubing. 843. Ideally holding small brackets onto the tubing of the tagging. These mechanical blocks are available at most welding supply stores. 845. Another type of the angle fixture of the HTP is the type of the welding clamps. Two parts perfect 90-degree angle tack to weld. 844. HTPT. Other companies are often shrunk magnetic holders that can secure in two pieces of the tubing and angle to 45 degrees, 90 degrees, and 135 degrees. Tack the parts and then move the magnets to the next joint. Alright, your Eastwood anti-heat putty lick paste can be formed and heat-sensitive parts that are welding near them. The paste absorbs heat and can be used to protect auto glass when welding near it. 847. Titanium mix over the handy spot sandblaster. You with a clean painting and rust away with the spot that you have welded like recessed with regular sander won't reach. 3/4 of blasting media is returned to the gun, and if you want, won't make your shop a sand pit. Alright, Chapter 9, Building a Utility Trailer.